Hello, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let us begin, or pick up where we left off in our conversations with Iris Wilson. So, your deductions just now, about before. Yes, what's on your mind, Runo? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all about that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there really are no mystery. Now, let's begin. Oh, she puts her goggles down too. Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular. Are we doing another one of these? I haven't done these in a while. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runo. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant antechamber. You also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know all that? Observe a passport and a travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh, so I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me that you were unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah. They use those to stamp to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see? I didn't realize. The red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. Wow, she is much better than Sholmes. How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely had been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It's obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, that clearly must have been Mr. Natsume. Now, Runo has a fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono? Isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourself. So I put two and two together and decided you must be the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion to those facts led to me. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that it says the man's trial be tomorrow. Hurley is stabbing his notes with a knife. You know, he is silly. That's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Yeah, that was quite a shocker. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed the certain something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh, well, I was just copying her style for that. This is really good news. You can tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man, you will, won't you, Iris, please? Is she gonna tell us? So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. Police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man. Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Saseki said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. I think this guy needs glasses. His eyes clearly tell me he's pretty blind. Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room, very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stooped man shivering in fear. Mr. Shom's great deduction surely hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He is a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says the London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I didn't realize the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in courts. Time and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I mean, I've experienced that a couple times, it seems. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Saseki-san. That's very unfortunate for the dude. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene. The case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume, Hurley said he was going to the man's lodging. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where the lodgings are? Well, I imagine police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Goody, in that case, give Greggy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Alright, so we got Iris's postcard. Don't really know what this really means. It reads, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Oh gosh, this won't make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come again soon. We'll be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruto, it's back to the scene of the crime. I look at my court record. I want to look at that card. So, somewhat dubious that would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Okay, what a weird ending to this segment. Very interesting ending. Save my progress? Yes, please. Oops. You're actually saving it into the empty spot. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is really fun to play. And me just doing random voices really is fun for me as well. 19th February, 2:38 p.m. Briar Road. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation. Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Ah, there he is. I would like some chips right now. Quite hungry. So we got this card. Anything specific? Yep, tell the gentleman whatever he wants to know. Well, look what's up with this coin. This is a 5 shilling piece, isn't it? I believe it's called a crown. Yes, and you can train a Scotland Yard detective to do whatever you want with just 1 shilling. What? Really? Iris must be the most powerful 10-year-old in the world. How much is 5 shillings, by the way? What's it really worth? Well, it's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector could probably eat in a whole month. Really, in a whole month? That's greasy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's go back. And present our Iris postcard. Oops, did not press the right button. Present. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry, I'm a very busy man. Much busy to talk to a pair for gababouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? What? Give that here at once. Come here, hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? I'm sorry, what? What was that coin exactly? A silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's an appearance fee. That's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean... That's right. For the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time. Oh, he hates it, and then he also likes it because he gets money. Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them vividly. Of course, he's using my name without my say-so. Does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously, it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodging. Ah, the little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in right old hovel. It's just over there. Look. It's literally just right there. He did not run far at all. On the first floor of that house on the corner where that wreck of a bicycle propped up. Didn't go far at all. That is nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is Mr. John Garrett-de-Bear. I read that completely wrong. Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure to give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean, you tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. He's so very aggressive about that. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Gosh, he treats her better than the queen, I guess? Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left. Yeah, so shall we go and see what we can find Mr. Natsume's lodging? Definitely. Okay, well, my throat's definitely suffering from this. Let me get a drink of water and we'll probably move in there. Yeah, new location has been added. So let us select, and now I drink. Oh my gosh, look at those giant shells of artillery literally laying right above the fire. That doesn't seem safe at all. We got 19th February, Mr. Natsume's lodging. Wait, this is where he stays? This is very unfitting, to be quite honest. I feel like someone else stays here. May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garrett-Deb? Okay, it should be that guy's. Indeed it would. Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? I have no idea what voice to do for her. I'm trying to figure that out as I go. My name is Ryunosuke Naruto. Mr. Naruto is representing Mr. Saseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodging here. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. He's getting shocked, but she's not saying anything. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garadeb. Did you see that, Mr. Sato? That was a real-life English maid. No, as I understand, it's anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better. It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? We need only to meet a butler, and experience will be complete. Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garib, we'll see you now this way. Oh, this guy looks like the moon. Examine? Oh, we can look at other way here. Oh, hello. What is going on here? What's wrong with this corner? Everything is all nice and prepped, and then suddenly everything's broken here. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Why is everything broken? Although the shelves seem to be broken and crockery is. Oh dear, it's in pieces. Ah, that's why the shelves broke. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do a China word justice. I wonder. Perhaps a cannon was fired at it. I think it would do a lot more damage than that. Yes, probably something like that, but let's not delve too deep here. Okay. Let's go talk to... was it Garadeb? Good day to you. John Garadeb at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruto. He's a defense lawyer. Do excuse me for not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maywand, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Headed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs, I can tell you. Don't get out much, so you can imagine. It's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruto. Do you think so? Well, Mr. Garadeb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. I wouldn't like to offend the generals, though, so I grudgingly display it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joanne? Let these good people see it properly. Sure, and fetch it. Ah! Oh my goodness. That should all want me to be careful. Oh, dear me, I do beg your pardon, sir. Oh, you jolly nearly took the skin off my hand. I shall be more careful, sir. Sure, her mind. So, anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you wanted to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right? Downstairs, huh? Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us. Only two, please, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in plenty. Is he stirring his tea with his smoker? I forget what we call those things. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Yes. Even had some famous detective poking around here. You know, in this old house, would you believe? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Look, could have been, didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Rand's magazine here, so. No, he's trying to play cool. Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Soseki's room. It's a barely nuisance, is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching in cushions now. I don't like this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. Let's talk about Mr. Natsume. What do you know about him? About Mr. Natsume, then, Mr. Garibdeb. Please do tell us. Oh yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Just 1 week. So he moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor became available a week ago. Oh my gosh. That's it all, Joanne. Do be careful. Oh my goodness, terribly sorry, sir. How is this man's hands okay still? If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was just a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? Seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written all across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joanne, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. We wouldn't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about that man at all? Yes, oh yes, indeed there was. She's dying to tell us, that's for sure. Ah, the shady lodger. I wonder who the top floor person is. Did you notice anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh my, yes. The man was shadier than an orchid. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could have ever imagined. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed, too. Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known the Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Wow, he stays up pretty late. No wonder he looks the way he is. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh, yeah, that is very odd, isn't it? I noticed that neither of the lodgings live on this floor of the house. Is that correct? That's right, yes. They're well below us on the first floor and street level. And how is it that you know so much about the lives of the lodgers? Besides times that they come back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed. You grief your hand, be more careful, woman. Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Something doesn't add up here. Yeah, they're very tight-lipped about something. Okay, how about we talk about the incident 2 days ago instead, then? Will that make you guys feel a little bit better? It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time? The window. Is this the same place? Because when we look outside the building, the windows are all bricked up. Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over the Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garibdeb house, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joanne? No, sir, I don't have. I would have been dust outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Ah, I see. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. Well... Yes? Was there something then? Well, it's not particularly significant, but around that sort of time and there... Ah! For the love of God, Joanne, watch what you're doing. Oh, dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman. Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Naruharo? Yes, sure. I have an exceeding good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Gyarados? The way you were talking before, it sounded like rather there might have been. Oh, well, I was saying, I was just trying to think better. Nothing. She's stopping him from talking. Grand, dash it all. What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Excuse me? Something's wrong here. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joanne? That's right, Mr. Gyarados. What is the matter with these two? Sounds like something happened in this room on the evening of the incident, but what? I wish I knew. Can we talk about Mr. Natsume's room now? We've been stalling quite enough to talk about that. Can you really tell us which floor Mr. Natsume is on? Why, certainly, just below us on the first floor. And Mr. Shelves is investigating there as we speak. Yes, told me not his name had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Shelves' services? I feel like that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. That's what I thought. Would it be alright if we had a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean? I don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Do you know if we'll find anything that could help us with the case? But we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. Oh, goodness gracious. These two have something very shady going on. It must have something to do with this casing over here. Let's investigate around the room first. Oh, look. What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up? It looks more like someone has half demolished them. Afternoon tea is time for indulgence, you know. It's quite the English way. It is Mr. Gyarados' custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. That sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute, though. Well, at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Well, naturally, it would never do to waste the wet leftovers. So whenever Mr. Gyarados doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joanne, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you. I hope I said that right. Look at that enormous screen. Must have been put there deliberately, sure. Yes, surely it seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could it be? I wonder. I'm going to have a quick look. Just a little peek. Ahem. Maybe let's not, Mr. Sato. I think the maid is going to heat us off with a cup of tea. Ahem. That looks like the Medal of Honor. It's showcased on a very grand manner. It is. It's displayed with a pride. I would say some, although it bothers me that it's not straight. What? That old thing. Sorry. I should be glad to see that back of it. But the general would turn in his grave if I dispose of it. The wall is the best place for it. Keeps the Bali thing out of the way. So it's just been paused to shine by accident, I suppose. There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look, let me see. It says, for distinguished participation. Sounds like some kind of honors, even though I could be in line for. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's old trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. Okay, tooting that guy's horn, that's for sure. What are these books here? I believe one of them is the Sherlock Holmes one. Sherlock Holmes. I noticed that you have a pile of books here, Garrett. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced the London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book. Oh, there's a copy of Rand's magazine in here too. No doubt Gary Debs enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes too. The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. Alright, well, let me see now. If we go back, we should be able to move over to the next room. Yep, there it is. Alright, so this is where we're going to pick it off next time. So, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, or subscribe. And until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.